What up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Reezy Talks. Today, I'm here with a very special guest. We have Taylor Thomas, the owner and founder of ArbitrageCard. What's up, Taylor?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad we finally made it happen.
Yep, me too. Glad to be
So
here.
it, it's been a minute. And so just to brief you guys about the topic of this call or podcast, whatever you want to call it, we're talking about how you can save money using discounted gift cards to purchase the physical goods that you're reselling on Amazon, whether you're doing it with retail arbitrage or online arbitrage. If you don't know about using discounted gift cards, you're either completely new to the game, like you just found out about Amazon yesterday, or you've been living under a rock. And my goal is to bring you into the light, teach you about the opportunity. And here is Taylor, someone I trust and know from the community, to tell you how his arbitrage card platform works. And it is actually cool because it's the only discounted gift card service that is catering towards resellers. So there's some other ones out there, but it's cool to have one that's catering towards us specifically. And as you're going to find out here in a minute, they do have some new features and updates that they've launched that is unique to them that nobody else has, that I believe are game changers. So I'm really excited to see the demonstration of all the new features.
So, everyone knows, I assume, about gift cards and the fact that they exist, so you can buy a gift card for different stores like Nike, Target, Home Depot, etc. So with discounted gift cards, you're essentially buying a gift card for one of those stores and paying a discounted rate. So you're buying it at less than its face value. So example, you buy a $100 Nike gift card, let's say it's 7% off, so you only pay $93, but then you go and use it to still buy $100 worth of merchandise at Nike, and then you're reselling that and making money on it. But now you've increased your profit margin by 7% in a way that's guaranteed, and there's no guesswork or anything like that.
Yeah, and if you know anything about selling products on a marketplace, it's very important for you to make sure you get your purchase price as low as possible, not just because you want to make as much money as possible, but because that gives you more margin and more wiggle room to compete against your competitors. And so imagine they don't use discounted gift cards and you do, you have an advantage. That means they're breaking even and you're still profiting, or they're losing money and you're breaking even, which is a win, right? And the opposite is true if you're on the other end of it. If they have discounted gift cards and you don't, you know what I mean? It's kind of a little bit like how I look at sales tax, right? If you aren't getting sales tax exempt and your competitor is, that's a huge disadvantage. So yes, 7%, you might not think that's a lot, but it definitely adds up over time.
It is a lot, yeah. Especially the more volume you do, it just keeps on adding up, making more of a difference. So
Yeah, especially when you're at scale, right?
mm-hmm.
Most businesses at scale, your percentage, your profit is coming down.
Yep.
Right. And there's businesses that operate on 7% profit. I'm not saying I want to be in those businesses, but
Yep.
there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Not that anybody should ever skin a cat. I'm
Yeah, don't do
sorry that
that.
I said that to all the cat lovers out there. We love cats too. Let's see
Yeah,
what you guys have been cooking up.
Sure, and I'll just give some brief context before I jump into some of those features as well. So at Arbitrage Card, like you mentioned, we're the only discounted gift card platform designed specifically for arbitrage sellers. And as we talked about, using discounted gift cards on its own already adds immense value because you have a guaranteed way to increase your profit margins. But at the same time, using gift cards also introduces more complexity into your business. So what we do is, instead of just selling you gift cards and that's it, we take it a step further and we provide sellers with tools and features that, streamline, simplify, and automate the process of using gift cards. That's really what we're here to do.
I'm so excited because I know there's so many problems. Like, for example, I've purchased hundreds and hundreds of discounted gift cards in my life, and I have went back through them manually, very painstakingly over time to find out wow, I bought, 12 $500 gift cards and I thought I spent them all, but
Yep.
here's one that has, $32 on it, and here's a whole $500 gift card that I totally forgot, and because like you said, the management is like in the past is not good. So it's like I'm in I'm updating the balance manually on the cards. I'm like, oh yeah, that one was spent, but there's a lot of human error that can be
Yeah.
introduced into it. And obviously, I make most of my income from YouTube and education. I still sell on Amazon, but I talked to a friend of mine who is huge arbitrage seller. He got like 10, 15 people going out for him every day. And this was years ago, and he told me that he hired a secretary at one point, and then that secretary spent a whole week going through gift cards, that every gift card they've ever purchased. And it was like phenomenal. It was like $18,000 of unused gift cards found. But yet, I mean, it took 40 hours. And if you don't have a secretary, like, I don't think anybody's going and putting that time in to go back and do that. So to hear that you guys, are thinking about us little reseller people, and, have come up with some creative solutions, is just so exciting.
Yeah. And that's going to be, the second feature we're going to look at is the automated balance checker, which is, helps to solve the issue that you're talking about. The first one I have here that we can jump right into is the Chrome extension. So, a lot of people that do OA, they're doing it on their computer, and a lot of people are using Chrome. So this helps in a few different ways, which we'll go ahead and look at right here with this quick video demo. Okay, so we can see here the Chrome extension that we have. The first main feature that we have as part of the Chrome extension is the ability to type in an exact total amount that you need. So in this case, the total amount at Nike was $611.18. It generated 4 gift cards that ended up matching that total dollar amount that was needed for the order. And then of course you go and pay for the gift card. And then what it's going to do is it's going to just generate those gift cards for you and have them here in the extension. So this helps so that you don't have to, be going back and forth between one tab and another one. So let's say you have ArbitrageCard in one tab, and then, Nike.com in another tab, and having to just go back and forth, copying and pasting codes.
Every second matters, because if you are, RA and especially OA, it's like, every time you can save 3 seconds times 1,000 actions a day.
Yeah.
That's like real money.
I know. And then after you have applied the cards, you can also go through here and basically check all of them to mark them as used, so that like when you go back and look at all your cards later, you can see which ones are active and used, like we can see here. And also
and you associated the order ID with it. That's huge.
Correct. Yeah. So you can tag those gift cards, that batch of gift cards, with the order number from Nike or whatever merchant it is. So that's a Chrome extension. Just makes everything a little bit more easier.
How's that even possible to generate the gift cards? Like, I'm just insane. I've never seen anybody do that. And it's a huge problem. Yeah, listen to that laugh right there.
Yeah.
It's a huge problem, right? Because that's why you end up with $5,000 of gift cards that's unspent, is because every gift card you have has like $6.82 left on it.
Yeah, so I mean, with us, we have the ability to generate new gift cards on the spot for the exact total, dollar amount that you need. So in that, in the flow we just looked at with the Chrome extension, our system on the back end is looking at, which gift cards we have for fixed amounts that are already in stock, and then it like grabs those first and is trying to essentially get it to that total exact dollar amount that you need for your order. And then, once it's gotten close, but then there's a little bit remaining, it generates a final gift card for whatever that, kind of odd or random amount is. So that, in the case we just looked at, the final gift card it generated was $11.18.
That's a Christmas miracle, buddy.
I know.
That's insane. That's so insane.
Yep. So here we got the balance checker. So like you were talking about, one other big problem with gift cards is the tracking and reconciliation of the balances that are left on the cards. So, because if you don't check the balances and there's a card that you either forgot to use entirely, so like you said, maybe one that just has a full $500 left on it, or one that you use partially and you were gonna use on a different order, but then you forgot or didn't track it correctly, or even times where you use one and then there's a return and the money goes back onto the card, that money's on there, and if you don't use it, then you're essentially losing it. But in order to use it, you have to know that it's there in the first place. And the more that somebody who's doing arbitrage and Amazon selling grows their business, the more gift cards are going to have to manage. Because it's like, hey, if you're spending 50 grand on inventory in a month, even if all those gift cards, like if each one is $500, that's still 100 gift cards you have to manage and go back through and check.
I also like that
Yeah.
it shows the discount in the column too, because for accounting purposes, if I bought something that was 100 cost of goods, but I bought it with a gift card that I got 7% off at, I need to make sure that when I list my cost of goods, you know, in my repricer and my inventory management, that I put it at 93 and not 100.
Yep.
But so it will be very easy for me to just go, what was the percentage? And you can just look, you know, that this is going to be, you know, multiply it by 0.917 to get the actual amount, which is, you'll find out once you guys get into gift cards, is that there is some tricky stuff, which is obviously why ArbitrageCard is here, because they're shoring up the holes in the game for us.
So let's go ahead and jump into the balance checker and just so we can see it in action really quick. So this is the gift card dashboard we have. That's where the balance checker lives. We've got these 7 brands that are supported with the balance checker with this first version. So basically, you know, you click
what
that
brands are those?
So those are Nike, Adidas, Marshalls, Sephora, Macy's, Kohl's, and Lowe's.
Pretty good offering for the first jump.
Yeah, so you basically click the balance checker button to activate, you know, balance checker mode essentially. Select all the cards you want to check, and then you just click the check balance button below, and as you can see, it's going through and just checking the balances. Now, this video is sped up. It does take, you know, several minutes to check all of them, but it's a thing where you can just, you know, start the process, go away, do something else, or work on a different task, and then come back once it's done.
And previously, can you explain the process? You know, how would this be accomplished previously? Because you just did it with one click.
Yeah, so you go on, you know, the Kohl's website, search balance check gift cards, go there, do all your Kohl's, but then like you said, you're having to copy and paste each one, do that, you know, record the balance somewhere. And so you're having to do it sequentially one at a time across different websites as opposed to just doing it all in bulk like this. Or you're having to pay a VA who's doing the same process, but then you're paying them to do something that obviously it's helpful, but they could be doing higher leverage activities and things that generate you more value with their time.
You guys are changing the game, man. Right here. If everybody else, all other gift card services now pale in comparison, you know, and actually they're going to have to copy you if they want to stay in the business, because these are necessary features. They might not, I guess. Maybe they just like, they're like, whatever, that's like feature creep. We're consumer focused, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Whereas, you know, you're not consumer focused. I mean, it's like a second level consumer, but like, you know what I mean? Like they might not even be aware of these things that we're seeing as problems. So maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe they won't copy you and they'll just, you know, not get used by sellers anymore, because this is, like you're saying, I can't afford to pay a VA to do this when you can do it with one click. I mean, sure, I'll still have them do it, but they'll just click once and then they can go do something else.
Right. Yeah. I mean, these things that we have, like, this has been the vision from the beginning, and the balance checker in particular, like that's an idea that I had thought of like 4 or 5 years ago, you know, and we, you know, recently launched it publicly. We actually had an internal version that we've been using since around November, but you know, these things take time. So it's really just, I think, you know, with this, it's about patience and, you know, being laser focused on something for a prolonged period of time until you achieve it. So here we are. So that was that. Then also just the gift card dashboard in and of itself, where the balance checker also lives, you know, helps in different ways. So I'm assuming most people are probably tracking their gift cards in Google Sheets or Excel or something like that. You know, you can still do that, but we give users a way to, you know, view their data, use filters, you know, sort columns, all those things just here directly on our platform. So, you know, you can also mark cards as active and used, as you see in that, you know, right-hand column, and you can do that in bulk as well. So,
I hate to keep interrupting you, but this is just blowing my mind right now, because I'm just thinking about how this process was done previously, you know, because you're like, oh, where's that gift card I purchased? And you're like, wait, where did I purchase it from? You're like, I know what store it was from, but did it come from website A, B, C, or D? And so, and then like, how do they deliver the notification? Because generally you're like hopping around. I might go here for one, like if a service is arguably the same, I might like hop and skip around for like 1% or whatever, but better deal or whatever. But like with this as the option, like 1%'s not so enticing for me anymore, because I'm just like, why would I go somewhere else for 1%? They don't have all this, you know? And like, okay, I got 8 Kohl's cards in my email, but they came from 4 different card websites, and they deliver the cards differently. And this one is easy to use in the app, and this one I got to take the card info and I got to make them type it in at the register, which takes forever. Or I got to be savvy enough to use like a third-party app to put the gift card numbers in so I get a barcode. You know what I mean? Like it's just pretty ridiculous. And to have it all and just say, like, show me all my Kohl's cards. Show me every card I bought last month.
Yeah.
You know, like, show me all the $500 cards because I know the card I'm looking for is a $500 card right now.
Exactly. Yeah, and
You
I
know,
mean, you can also manually edit the balance. So in the balance column here, for any brands where we don't have the balance checker, you know, that are not supported by it, you got that little edit button, so you can go and, you know, if you do need to check card or balances yourself or whatever, you can do that there. And then like over here on the status, yeah, this is really helpful, just keeping track of which ones are active and used, and you can do that one at a time where you can just bulk select cards and do that in bulk too. And then you can still export. We got this export button, so it's like if you really want to have your cards in a spreadsheet in a CSV or an Excel, you know, you can still do that as well.
So that export is specific to the search that you do below?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So you could make a Kohl's gift card spreadsheet, a Marshall's gift card spreadsheet, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can.
That is huge.
Yep. So those are the main things. I think, you know, I know at the conference, like with the Chrome extension and the balance checker, people are just like having their minds blown looking at both of those. So, I
mean, even I think any of those features on their own is like pretty amazing. But altogether, it's like astronomical. Like, people don't understand how, if you don't do OA, you don't understand how excited I am of just being able to click and copy and paste the number and the PIN number like quickly right there. Like that alone, I'd pay for that. You know what I mean? But then also just having
the sidebar.
It's so easy. Having the card management, okay, also amazing. Being able to generate a specific amount, which is going to cut down on leftover unused balances. You're the man. You're the man, bro. I'm so psyched. Yeah. We didn't go over using the gift cards like in the traditional way. Like, can we show the gift cards like in the, do you have that set up able to show like scannability from the app?
Like the barcode basically?
Yeah. Just so people understand, because there's also, you know, some people are using gift card services that don't give them a scannable barcode. You just get the number. I mean, that's such a pain in the butt asking a cashier to type a number in, you know, and there's human error involved with you saying it and them typing it. Is that a real gift card? Did you just
No, I mean, I used it like 2 years ago, but like that's why, and it's kind of hard to see. Unfortunately, I didn't have like an image on the screen or whatever,
it's good. But yeah, they're easy to scan in the app. You know, I literally ordered all my cards while I was in line waiting to check out. And it was a miracle time where there was 19% off gift cards for the Nike store. And right now I think it's much less, but it's like, it's supply and demand. So it comes in and it comes out. And you could actually, like, if you're smart, you would have stocked up, you know, like, obviously arbitrage is not my main business model, like I said earlier, but I know people that spent $250,000 on 19% gift cards. Yeah. Because that's essentially securing your future right there with 19% increased profit or 19% profit on stuff that would have been break even.
Exactly. I think we're at 7.5% right now, which, you know, obviously people watching this in 6 months, it'll probably be different. But like right now in May of 2025, we're at 7.5% on Nike, which, you know, so it's still good, still competitive and helpful for people to, you know, increase their margins.
Any plans to expand the offerings of stores, or any stores you're looking at getting that aren't on there yet?
So in general, we are always looking to add more stores that our customer base is looking for. And in the past, you know, there have been some that we've added, and there's also been some that people have asked us about, and we've checked, and it's like, oh, we can't get these. Like, it's not possible. So I think like Vitacost was one, for example, where I don't even think they have gift cards, like just in general. So, but I did talk to, you know, a couple people at the conference in Miami, and yeah, there was a few brands that came up that they were wanting us to look at. So
nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. You're actually still like a smallish company, and you know, you're able to connect with the actual you know, users and like directly to the owner. You know, like how many people are in ArbitrageCard right now?
Including me, 8.
8.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Where are you guys? Where are you based out of?
So I'm based out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Nice. Go Hornets.
Yeah.
I know you said there was some special promotion that you were doing for the users, for the viewers that are catching this. You want to share that?
Yep. So if you guys use promo code Reezy50, capitalization doesn't matter. It can be uppercase, lowercase, but Reezy50 gets you $50 off your first purchase with ArbitrageCard. And that code is valid for the first 500 uses. So after it's been used 500 times, it's not valid anymore.
So even if someone's not a reseller and they're going to shop at one of those stores that that are listed and supported by ArbitrageCard, they're about to check out for $100, they could buy a $100 gift card from ArbitrageCard, their first purchase, use the code Reezy50 and get a $100 gift card for $50 off of a probably already discounted price. So you'll actually be paying less than $50 for a $100 gift card.
That is
and
correct.
That will be on Taylor, courtesy of ArbitrageCard.
Yep.
What a guy.
That's it.
What a guy. Only the first 500 users, though, so don't sleep on that.
Yep.
Anything else you want to share with the people before we take off and buy all your gift cards?
Yeah, no, I think I covered everything, but I appreciate you having me on here, man. It was good to see you again in Miami last week.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm glad we finally connected like this. And I'll see you at the next Miami. I'll be at every single one. I love that conference. Yep. Shout out Avery and the whole Miami Sellers Conference team as well. We're going to take off, guys, but don't forget, $50 off on your first gift card purchase. That's literally $50 free, whether you're a reseller or not. Go to ArbitrageCard.com, sign up, use code Reezy50, okay? Don't sleep on discounted gift cards. It's basically free money, and when your competitors are using them and you aren't, it makes it a lot harder to make money. So be smart and compete as hard as you can. Hit up ArbitrageCard. I do have a link down in the description that you can use to sign up to ArbitrageCard. Go down there, click on it, and if you appreciate Taylor, please comment down below and let him know. See you guys on the next video. Thanks for coming, Taylor.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.